foods that contain no carbs at all, and a few of the really important ones in a group that I missed last time. The sugar alternatives, which are zero carbs, but you do need to be careful how you use them and which ones you use. Keep watching to find out more. Hi there, it's me, David H. Thanks for watching again. This is an update on the previous zero carb vid I did, because I missed some out, as I said, the sugars. But I want to run through the original ones. These are all zero carbs that I've got listed up there. I've gone into these in a little bit more in depth in the previous video. I'll put a link up to that if you want to watch it again. But here we go. Meat. We should all be including meat on our zero keto diet or low carb diet. Beef, chicken, pork, turkey, lamb, bison, duck, rabbit, deer, kangaroo. There's probably lots of other ones, but I can't think of any offhand at the moment. Then we've got the chicken eggs, duck eggs, fish eggs, bone broth. Bone broth, I don't get it, but I know a lot of people have that as, I don't know why, but it is zero carbs, so that's a good enough reason, isn't it? Seafood, salmon, sardines, mackerel, tuna, shrimp, crab, lobster, cod, trout, bass, I said it again, Anna, bass, anchovies, herring. Now, the oily ones are the best ones on here, which are most of them, to be fair. You know, when you look at your mackerels, your salmons, your sardines, tuna is my particular favourite. But as I say, as long as you get some of these into your diet throughout the week, really good for you. Zero carbs, and get plenty of those good fish oils into you. Right, moving on. Cheese, as you can see, American cheese. American cheese, they didn't invent it, it's English cheese. English cheese is best, but there you go. Blue cheese, Parmesan, feta, cheddar, proper cheddar cheese from England. Cream cheese, goat's cheese, Monterey Jack, the American stuff. Mozzarella, I don't think that's American or English. Of course, it's the Italians. Swiss cheese, guess where that's from? Provolone, brie and halloumi. There's a French one there, probably the other one is French, and halloumi is the Greek one, isn't it? Yeah, that you fry up. That'd be a good one, fried up in butter and garlic. You've got to have garlic. Fats and oils. So, I just mentioned butter. Butter should be a staple. Butter, ghee, beef tallow, coconut oil, avocado oil, olive oil, MCT oil, flaxseed oil, cod liver oil, palm oil, some duck fat and chicken fat, and your bacon grease, which you should keep every time you cook your bacon. So yeah, you should be using a lot of these, but in the initial stages, go a little bit lighter on them, because the object really is to get your body to change over to start burning the fats. Initially, it's not doing this. So if you just keep on filling yourself full of these fats, it's a bit counterproductive. So a little bit easier, but once it doesn't take long. So once you get out into a ketosis state, probably takes you 1 to 2 weeks, and then hit them like anything else, the butter especially. Okay, vegetables, these are the ones that are zero carb. There's a lot more, and they all tend to be green, the vegetables that you eat, that have 1 to sort of 5 carbs. But these are the ones that are absolutely zero, so you should be having some of these. Bok choy, arugula. God knows how you say it, something like that. I've never heard of it anyway, but I do know it's zero. Iceberg lettuce, I can say that one. Romaine lettuce, butter lettuce, pickles, kale, Swiss chard, and celery. Okay, so here we go with the zero carb sugars that you'll probably be using at some point during your keto diet. There's just three of them, and I think it's important to go through these because they really are the staple of all the sugary aspects. Um, there's a lot of others out there, but really they are not so good. But I'll go through these: stevia, erythritol, and monk fruit. They all have their merits, but let's go through them individually and find out what's good and what's bad and what's absolutely terrible. Okay. Okay, starting with stevia. Stevia is taken from the leaves of the South American plant Stevia rabudiana from the sunflower family. It's a sunflower. Now, the good things about stevia: one, it has no calories and no carbs. Not that I'm a believer of anything connected with calories and all the rest of it. It doesn't raise your glucose. It appears apparently to have a low potential for being toxic. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. It appears. Okay, stevia is incredibly sweet, and a small measure is all that's needed. And I think this tends to be the sort of the theme with all artificial sweeteners. They're a lot sweeter than actual sugar. Whether the taste is good is another thing. Okay, so think now we've looked at that, we need to look at the bad things about stevia. Okay, bad stuff. While sweet, it doesn't have a flavour really like sugar. It can be a bit bitter to some. It's not great to cook with to get results like sugar, and I find it does lose its strength when cooked. In fact, it just about disappears, I think. Probably easier spreading a bit on after you've cooked if you're wanting something sweet. There's a big red flag health-wise though in data on stevia. You see, to see its real impact in the longer term, there isn't much data on there or research that said how this is going to be for those that have been using stevia as a main sweetener for a long period of time. So yeah, it doesn't sound so good, that, does it? Now, how sweet it is. I nearly started singing the Jackie Wilson, wasn't it? Yeah. How sweet it is, if any of you are old enough to remember Jackie Wilson. Okay, I was told about him. It is 200 to 350 times sweeter than normal sugar. Really sweet. You don't need a lot when you if you put it into your drinks or anything like this, but I say it does lose it when it's cooked. Also, when buying stevia, check the ingredients, as sometimes they do put other additives that would actually spoil it from the zero and actually make it worse, because they actually put some of the sugary things in. So, but hide it under different things, different labels, as they often do, these food manufacturers. Okay, there you go then, the bad things, and that's stevia for you. Okay, number 2. Erythritol, produced using a corn or cornstarch, which has been through a fermentation process. Erythritol is a sugar liquor that happens normally in the little amounts from foods like grapes or melons and mushrooms. Mushrooms, is it really? Yeah. Only tiny amounts, but its absorption by the digestive system is really low. This is one of the good things. Erythritol itself is approved by the FDA, perceived as a safe one to use. So this is a good thing for it. There's no calories or carbs. It doesn't raise glucose or insulin levels. This is a big one for ketogenic diets. It passes through in our pee without being used by the body while it's travelling through. So basically what it's actually doing is just going straight through you. It's actually adding nothing nutritionally or anything like that, but sometimes we like things that taste nice, and it can help with that. You buy this granulated or powdered. It's not difficult to use as a genuine sugar replacement for cooking, and it's got a real bonus that it might stop dental plaque and other dental problems, unlike other normal sugars or other artificial sugars which are not so good on the teeth. Okay, there you go then. Erythritol. Sounds good as well, doesn't it? Okay, erythritol, the bad stuff. It doesn't have the equivalent mouthful as sugar. Or the mouth feel, should I say mouthful? Feel as sugar. It's got a strange texture, I think, to it. Has some a cooling sensation as well on the tongue. Um, it can cause gas and loose bowel movements, so you can end up with the runs in some, especially if you have too much of it. Um, so not so much so as some of the other sugar alcohols, though. So I say it's not the worst, but it's something to be aware of. While erythritol absorbing into the blood and discharging it through urinating, there might be some potential for possible long-term health implications, although there's none known at present, but it has been muted about that this is a possibility. So when do you find this out? Do you wait to find it out, or do you just carry on using it? That's your choice. We use erythritol in a significant number of our keto dessert plans, since it functions really well in baking and is very much okay with most people in the tummies and won't upset them. That's the majority. There's a few that can get upset by it, but not too many. But it's really good for cooking with, or baking even. How sweet it is, as Jackie Wilson said, it's around 70% as sweet as normal sugar, so it's not quite, so there's a dullness to it there, but it's still a good effective one to use on keto diet or low carb diet. Okay, monk fruit extract number 3. Monk fruit extract, it's a natural product. It's a new one, a new sugar substitute really. Another name it is known as is Lao Han Gua, something like that anyway. Monk fruit, it was one of the most, but it's a part dried and used for teas traditionally, the herbally ones, as well as soups and stocks in Asian medication. First discovered in northern Thailand by priests and southern China, hence the main name of it, which is Loa Han Gua. Wonder if it sounded okay that how I said it. Who knows? Even if it's correct. Monk fruit extract. Before extracting the part used for making the sugar substitute, it contains fructose and sucrose, which is removed in the extraction process. So monk fruits, the high sweet taste is given by the non-caloric mixtures called moglurosides, which result in the sugar substitute. The US FDA has said monk fruit is for the most part viewed as safe. It has not yet been given the go-ahead for sale in most of Europe, which is a shame, but because it is really good. Okay, there you go, monk fruit extract, the good bits. Okay, so the bad stuff on monk fruit extract is more costly than stevia and erythritol. Monk fruit is regularly sold mixed with stevia and erythritol purely because of the cost. It is regularly blended in with other fillers like inulin, prebiotics and other undeclared elements. Now you've got to be cautious about the label when it says proprietary blend, as the likelihood is it contains hardly any monk fruit and it's just full of crap. Isn't what you're supposed to be or what you think you're buying. How sweet it is to be loved by you. 150 to 200 times more sweetness than sugar. I'll probably get a copyright strike now, won't I? But there you go. Monk fruit extract, probably the best. There's enough there out of 3 of them to actually pick a sugar that will suit your palate or work with you. I must admit I do find it easier not having anything sweet because I used to be going back a relative sweet tooth, so I keep off it totally. It's a bit like addiction, you know, with smoking and stuff like that. You can't just have a little bit, you want it all. So I don't use it, but if you're going to use it, use these. I will, in saying this, the one place I do use it is in if I'm making a curry. You get a low look on the label for the curry powder. Make sure that it's got no sugar in, and you can add one of these sugars in to just give it that little taste. It does add and make it feel better, taste better. Okay, well there you go. That's the rundown of the zero carbs and the zero carb sugars. And I think that is all for me for the moment. If you've enjoyed the video, that's great. If you haven't, that's a shame, isn't it? Why did you watch it right till this point? You've probably gone anyway, so who gives a toss? They're not here, it don't matter. Okay, well, I will wish you all good health. If you want any ideas on any recipes for keto or to follow keto, have a look in the description. There's also, I'm going to put a list of these down there somehow, or it might be a PDF or something, but have a look. I wish you all good health. Take care. Until next time, I'll wish you all a good day for the rest of the day or the evening, whatever time it is that you're watching this. Okay, bye bye now.